Hello and welcome to the International Pentagon Challenge. My name is Kyanite and together we'll be embarking on a very special Football Manager journey where we'll aim to try and win every major international competition in all 5 continents, forcing our hand to play with hundreds of different types of players and most importantly hopefully create loads of awesome different types of tactics along the way. Once that's complete, only then are we allowed to set our sights on the biggest of all goals, the FIFA World Cup. How many nations will we have to manage until we work our way to the top? How many dodgy names will we have to pronounce along the way? So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun along the way. Okay, hello everyone and welcome to episode 29 of the International Pentagon Challenge. So, it is going to be our second serious game as manager of England. So, first game was obviously a 5-0 win, friendly-wise, against the Faroe Islands. And then, what a surprise that was in the last episode, a 1-0 win against the Italians. And it was nice to get revenge for what they did to Alan Pardew's England. That's actually interesting. I've never looked at this before, see what kind of... Right, they played with a 4-2-3-1. So really very similar to what we've gone with, except he's gone with 2 holding midfielders in Dyer and Cook, while we opt to go with 2 creative midfielders in midfield. And the back 4 is roughly the same, except he played Joe Gomez instead of Michael Keane. Yeah, okay, so that's how Alan Pardew played. But we've got Denmark coming up, and what I do want to say is that Denmark are going to be no pushovers. I'm not a big fan of this whole 5 at the back thing they've got going on with wing-backs and wingers. That's going to be interesting. But Dolberg on his own in this year's version of the game is basically the next Messi. He's contracted to Man United at the moment, valued at 74 million quid, and we are going to have to keep him quiet. And it's going to be difficult because they've got some very, very good players. Ostergaard, regen coming through, a lot of pace on him, which suits him for that role. Yusuf Poulsen isn't that good, but Sisto is certainly going to be a bit of a handful. And they've got 3 very, very decent centre-backs as well. So given the fact that we're going to be playing with a 4-3-3, it's going to be really, really important that both Green and Rashford press the space that'll be left behind the wing-backs nice and early on. I'm not going to start off with our attacking approach. We'll start off on standard because, like I said, Denmark have actually got a much better side than I thought they did, and they're ranked 13th in the world. So we're going to play against them. We're going to start with the same way we did against the Italians, and we'll tweak in a few seconds' time. Also, one thing worth mentioning, Eric Dyer is no longer injured and returns to the squad. Harry Winks has been brought into the team as well, a 28-year-old Harry Winks. I think he'll be good backup for either of the 2 playmaker positions. And Jadon Sancho also could get his first England cap. 17.75 million quid, as you can see. He really does well kind of suit either of the 2 roles. Right-footed here out on the left where he can play as a Ramdeuter / inside forward, or as the main out-and-out winger on the other side of the pitch. So that is going to be that. And just before we jump into the game, I'm going to make one change, which is going to be Eric Dyer to play in front of the back 2. We are the favourites, and like I said, I'm not really going to bother talking about the opposition reports and all that jazz. Name of the game for us is going to be to try and exploit the space left behind the wing-backs, and we'll tweak as we go along. So as we see, they have gone for the 5 at the back. Yeah, it's going to be tough for us because the thing is, even though we can probably exploit this space, it's going to be a case of also getting the ball into the box. So there's a chance Dele Alli might have to move to become kind of a shadow striker, so get more bodies in the box. I'm hoping that Chidi's inverted runs will also kind of help us supplement that central area as well, with people who could potentially get in on the end of our crosses. Because we don't play a crossing game, but just the way we're set up, we naturally get the ball wide a lot, which means we end up in positions to cross the ball a lot. And up against 3 centre-backs, that's not always ideal. So, dressing room, expect nothing but a win. Harry Kane switches off for some strange reason. Both Harry Kane and Dele Alli have very poor morale right now. I'm pretty sure Spurs are doing poorly. Yeah, how are we going to change things up? So we're going to play a little bit wider than we usually do. And we are going to look to clear the ball to the flanks. And given that we're at home, we'll tend to be a little bit more expressive as well. To deal with the wing backs, Rashford will stay tight to his, Green will stay tight to his, and I find that when they stay tight, not only does it help defensively, but when we want to counter-attack, because they're kind of tight, they've got loads of room to run into. And here we go. So, back at Wembley. First time we were at Wembley. I'm pretty sure it's Wembley. It doesn't look like Wembley, but then again, it's Football Manager, so I'm not sure if it's meant to look like Wembley, but I'm pretty sure the stadium we played in against the Faroe Islands looked a lot more like Wembley. Unless I'm completely imagining things. But here we go then. So we can see like how wide their three centre-backs have split. And that's really where the space like this is going to come from for us. It's just a case of whether we can get, not only just create enough chances, but get enough people on the edge of in the box rather, to get on the end of the crosses. So, not ideal corner takers right now. That's something I have to change. We had a right footer taking the right side. So, in terms of corners, Andre Green can take the left-hand side because he's right-footed. One thing we lack is really left-footers. So, Ben Chilwell, with only a corner taking a 10, is going to have to take the other side. But it is really important for our kind of corners. Oh! For our corners, that they are in-swinging corners. So, why is Chidi taking a corner? We've just changed them. Dele tries to find Harry Kane and can't. And obviously the fact that Spurs aren't doing too well as well, and that it's affecting the morale of both Dele Alli and Harry Kane, isn't really ideal for us, right? And that could indirectly affect their performances for us. 10 minutes in, and to be fair, we've not really created much, which is disappointing. We'll tell them to be a little bit more creative. If we hit the 20th minute and we still haven't really created much, we'll switch to our more attacking approach. Because let's be honest, Denmark could kind of come in here, regardless of how good some of the players in their side are, they'd be happy with a point, right? So, yeah. Jones is going to whip the ball in towards the back post where Harry Kane was lurking. He's not going to jump for it, though. Stones could be offside there. He is, and the bug of the comprehensive offside highlights, it's not really a bug to be fair, it comes back to haunt us. So there we go. We're going to go back to our normal mentality, the more attacking approach, and let's see whether or not we start to create more opportunities. Kane, back to Dele Alli, who's looking for, well, a run of some sort, has Jones next to him. Chidi, inverted wing back to Green, plays in Harry Kane, and it's a bit of a poor shot from the Golden Boot winner, in real life, of course. Rashford, ball into the box, and couldn't quite find Harry Kane. Offside that? No, Rashford's in. Rashford will shoot, and it's a really good save there from the Danish goalkeeper. Rashford's in again, not the best of crosses. And like I said, the three centre-backs were always going to cause us problems in terms of our crossing game. It's just a case of how we're going to look to really break it down. In terms of... Oh, finish. Oh! In terms of other options, like I said, if we've not scored by the second half, we can go two up front and stick kind of like a pacier player. Oh, no. A pacier player up front near Harry Kane and leave the two wingers as well. In terms of which player we'd sacrifice, we'd probably sacrifice Eric Dyer in front of the back two. Because like in this kind of scenario here, you can see they kind of become a back five and they just significantly outnumber us. So if we've got like a second person just keeping the other defenders busy, that might be good for us. Rashford. Oh, he's offside. That was another example I discussed in the last video where the ball is played behind the wide player and he does like a backwards run and always ends up being offside. Really annoying. Rashford's offside again. Dyer wins a header, but Denmark recycle. Poulsen is in on goal, and oh god, that was an absolute sitter. Chilwell needs to wake up because Poulsen is not that fast, he's not that good, but he's had quite a few chances now. Dele Alli to Marcus Rashford, who's going to get tackled. We might have to tweak Ben Chilwell here because that's 2 or 3 decent chances that Poulsen has actually had. Harry Kane to Green to Stones, and it's yet another save from Rono. Both teams really have had opportunities. I think Denmark have probably had the more clear-cut one. Why is this guy still taking corners? Set piece takers. Did my set piece takers didn't save when I set them? What? We've kept Dolberg quiet though, which is good. But this is where they're scary, you know what I mean? On the counter-attack. Very pacey players out wide. Good player centrally to aim for. Decent technical players in Delaney and Højbjerg as well. But there's the space behind the wing-backs being exploited. And again, we can't get the ball in the box to Harry Kane. I think in terms of the game plan and utilising the space left behind the wing-backs, we've been fine. And the real pacey players... Why is this guy still taking a corner? I know why it disappeared. It's because I changed tactics, didn't I? But still, why is he taking a corner? Like, the wrong people are taking corners here. I mean, I'm clearly saying Andre Green or Ben Chilwell to take the corner, yet Gabriel Chidi keeps taking it. It could be me being stupid, I'm not sure, but yeah. Jones shoots. Dyer shoots. And it hits the back of the net. So, well, okay. Eric Dyer makes us... gives us the lead, rather. 1-0 up against Denmark. Thank you very much. We've not looked amazing in this first half, but I think he may have heard me say if we go in at half-time, he's coming off to go with 2 up front. So, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, there he is again. Dyer with the tackle. It's really just a case of whether I want to change it up in the second half. And a part of me kind of feels like we need to. And I'm tempted to really do that. So, dressing room. We're obviously going to tell them not to get complacent. And it's the two Spurs players who are reacting poorly. Because they're not feeling it, you know what I mean? And even though Eric Dyer is on an 8.2 and got the goal, it's not really ideal. Okay, what are we going to do? I do feel like I do want to go 2 up front. What I'll do is this. So it's like not fully 2 up front, but it kind of is 2 up front, if that makes any sense. And we'll drop Rashford back a little bit more just to try and make sure numerically we're still remaining balanced in midfield. But depending on how the performance is looking, I might just take Harry Kane off along with Dyer altogether. And just go for a flat 4-4-2. And there's the equaliser. Oh, Dolberg hits the bar and yeah. They've had... I don't know, Chilwell's not been at his best in terms of dealing with that wing back. Chidi's through. Whips the ball in. And can he find anyone again? It's Harry Kane has been tackled. And it's Christensen, mainly Vestergaard rather. Vestergaard? I'm pretty sure it was Christensen. I don't know. I'm talking out my backside as usual. Okay. We really need another goal to put it to bed. You can see they've had more of the clear-cut chances. And I think I am going to have to make these changes now. Okay then, so we are going with a flat 4-4-2. Chidi should hopefully come inside and give us, you know, kind of just move in the spaces where Dyer will leave us a little bit out in the open. Green is now on support. Rashford's out on the left. He will probably go off and give Jadon Sancho his first start in an England shirt. And one more thing I do want to do is just drop our defensive line a little bit and our width a little bit as well. We can look to play out defence as well. They're only playing with one striker. But now that we've got kind of 2 up front and Harry Kane is obviously playing as a target man, we should hopefully start causing that back 3 that Denmark have a few more problems, you know, with the direct balls forwards. And we've got the 2 creative players as well in Jones and what's his face? Dele Alli. Oh, how unlucky was that? I mean, to be fair, the tactical changes didn't really even kick in there, but that was a perfect example of what I'm looking to try and do. Fair play. Green to Rashford. It's blocked by the red shirts. Chidi to Chilwell. Whips the ball in towards Rashford at the back post, and it's only gone wide. Decent stuff so far. Dele. Oh, that's not the best pass Dele Alli will ever play, but we've not lost possession, so it's not the end of the world. Rashford whips the ball in. Rosenthal with the header at the front post, but at least he's getting on the end of the headers at the front post now, which is something Harry Kane wasn't doing when he was up front on his own. Dolberg is running at us, and someone needs to clatter him. Ends up being, I think that's Stones, yep. Which is really why we really need to try and put this game to bed. And there it is. The famous FM18 AI corner to the guy on the edge of the box that you can't prevent as a human being. I don't know if you can prevent it as a human being, but I'm pretty sure you can't. But it's just really annoying. It's like every time the AI... Switch it. Oh, he's played it behind him. Every time the AI takes a corner, it's always that kind of really frustrating... Oh, scissor kick. That kind of frustrating... Just pass to the guy on the edge of the box. That type of corner. Jones, that's offside. Yeah. Rashford's not been at his best so far today, so it is probably going to be a debut for Sancho. We'll bring him on and see how he does. Obviously, players like Sancho and whatnot, like Rosenthal, like Green, they're the future, this England side. In 2 years' time, should we qualify for the World Cup, they're going to be real key players for us. So the more I can see of them... Oh, no, he should score from there. The more I can see of them now, the better. And the more I can kind of get them involved with the rest of the England lads, the better. Kane should have done better there. And there's the direct ball to Dolberg, but we play one of our own, but Kane... who finds himself offside. So they've taken a centre-back off and brought on a midfielder, but it does look like they're still going to be playing with the 5 at the back. Dele should shoot, and he's not going to shoot. I think now, looking at how many players we threw forward for that, is probably about time we do a bit of this, if you ask me. Drop that tempo down a little bit, be more disciplined. Other than that, Bob's your uncle. Should really start... looking to hold on to the ball, frustrate Denmark as they bring on fresh legs. I think we might have space for one more substitution, if I'm not mistaken. We do. So that's probably... I'll give Callum Steele a bit of a run around. I've never actually seen him play. So, yeah, Chilwell hasn't had the best of games. Oh, unlucky Green. Chilwell hasn't had the best of games, and... he's looking a bit tired at 69%, so we'll give another young lad a go. Just over the bar there. And even though you might look at this and think, oh, well, England, really, you should be doing better than 1-0 at home against a team like Denmark. I think I'd honestly beg to differ looking at some of the players within this Denmark team. Oh, no, Chidi, don't do that. Oh, no, there's the equaliser, surely. Oh, it's just over the bar. I thought surely now he's going to find Dolberg in the middle of the park. There's a direct ball to Kane, and that's one of the issues. We did retain possession, control mentality, but he's still there as a target man. Harry Kane here can play as a complete forward on support. Rosenthal can also double up there. Dele Alli on support. Jones for me. Well, he can't really drop back there, but he can do this. And he can do this. And so can this guy. So one more tighten up shout. We still throw the whole kitchen sink forward for just a simple free kick. Jones still somehow got that wide of the target. That's looking a little bit better from that free kick, isn't it? Come on. That was a poor foul. It's because it's on like stay back if needed, so it considers like that scenario always needed because they've got one attacker. But I've said this before, like I said it a lot last year in FM17, where you shouldn't have to constantly change your set pieces. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking to hold on to a lead. The game should be able to identify based on the time when you're blatantly going to be looking to hold on to a lead, and it should change it automatically for you. Hansen to Jensen to Kastrup. That's a good tackle from Stonesy. And now We got the pace to burn. Rosenthal finds Andre, who whips the ball to the front post, but unfortunately no one was quite there. Should have really just held it in the corner flag, but again, we're not on a defensive mentality right now. Andre again. I feel so good that I've got another player called Andre. Mainly because, like, I had Andre Gray in my FM17 Blackburn save. Oh, what is that pass? What is that pass? Well done, Chiddy. Tell you what, his crossing ain't great, but he scored a goal for us already. His positional play is very good a lot of the time. Let's go defensive now. Harry Kane kind of tripped over himself and won as a free kick. Even that kind of scenario there, where you've got a 1-0 lead, you shouldn't be playing, like for me, you shouldn't be playing that free kick long. If it was like the 50th minute, yeah, sure, play it long and you need a goal and whatnot. But there's 2 minutes to go. Denmark are playing on the counter-attack. You would not throw them people forward. The game on its own should just be like, oh, okay, it's logical now for me to just pass this ball. I'm not sure if it does it if I had defensive on and time wasting, but I still feel like you shouldn't have to micromanage that much. And that's coming from me, who, if you've watched this series, loves a bit of micromanagement. So I'm going to tell them that they weren't really good enough. Harry Kane is pissed off, but to be fair, until Ancelotti sorts Spurs out, I think that's going to kind of be the reaction I'm going to be getting relatively often from the Spurs boys, because it does seem to actually be affecting their morale. And I seriously did think that both international morale and club morale were separate. Nice to see Eric Dyer, though, obviously got the important goal for us. So 2 1-0 wins ain't great, but hey, wins are wins, right? And that's what's important. Let's take a look at what's happening in the other groups. So unless we monumentally slip up, like we can still afford here to lose against Italy, because Italy have drawn once and lost once. So if we lose against Italy, that'll put them on 4 points. And as long as we just beat Denmark again, that should put us top of the group, right? Which, yeah, should be pretty decent for us. But let's take a look at the other groups. So we're comfortably top of Group 1. Spain, Croatia and Belgium are basically all, that group is all to play for, basically. 3 points apiece. And it's probably going to come down to goal difference if they can't separate each other. Group 3, though, Serbia are 6 points ahead of Germany and Portugal. What on earth is happening there? So Serbia beat Germany 2-1 and then beat Portugal 2-1. I mean, that's a good thing for us, because it probably means we end up facing Serbia in the next round if we go through. So I would much rather Serbia than Germany or Portugal, right? Group 4, we've got France, Netherlands and Romania. And, well, I think Romania have done well to be on the same amount of points as Holland. But I think France just about edge it in terms of raw quality as opposed to the Dutch. But you never know. You never know. So, next episode will be our game at Wembley against the Italians. Hopefully another 1-0 win. I'd take it, to be honest. But so far, so good. Unbeaten as manager of England. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And I'm not quite sure if at this point, because I am recording quite far ahead, I'll have got 10 questions. But because I hit 2,000 subscribers, I'll be doing a 2,000 subscriber video where I will answer 10 random questions that people leave me in the comments. They can be about absolutely anything. So if we've not already reached 10 comments by this point in time, leave a comment below and I'll try and answer it in that video. But if you enjoy the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.